How's it going, Gemini community? Soul Tiger's here with a special story for this wonderful frequency. So some keywords, and sometimes you feel like life can be so unfair to you, Gemini. Like others have more by doing less, while any gain you had to work hard for to achieve. Just know all this hard work has built a level of resilience in you that money cannot buy. You have a strength of endurance and resilience not many have either. Why? Because you've never given up, and you've never expected handouts where some people look to get those handouts. You have always looked to how and what needs to be done to get you where you are now. And I quote, a true champ, don't forget that. End quote. Woo-wee. Yes, life can seem really unfair, especially when you're watching so many people get handouts where you haven't had a choice. If you wanted success, you had to work for it. So there's something here, definitely. You're kind of feeling at odds ends when it comes to your energy, to what you bring into things, how you have opened up into going into the very things that have blossomed into your life. Something here you're a little confused on is the only reason why you've been able to get to some of those successes, if not all of those successes, is because there was an inner drive within you, Gemini, and that drive was following that intuition. A lot of people who are going for handouts don't follow their intuition. Just know that something that we're not seeing, oh, this is truly fitting here. Because this was one of the first cards I seen when I was cleansing out the cards for this story is confidence. Confidence, confidence, confidence. We're having trouble with our confidence here. It's really hard to step into our personal power and seeing how much we have accomplished. Not just for ourselves, but for our community, whether it's our workspace, whether it's our family space, whether it's a space that we really just love to be in. Now, we're confused again when it comes to following the guidance of things. I'm hearing not just the guidance, but the blessings that we've had along the way with the guidance. Again, there's that feeling of, for some reason, you're always get less, even though you work the hardest. Another thing we're not seeing is magical power, and you're at odds ends with it for some reason. Not seeing that the true magic in things was you having this drive to not let things stop you, the drive to keep up and keep going even though things feel so unfair. Something else we're not seeing is balanced emotions. Maybe we're coming to a point in a Gemini's life where it's time to level up about the way we feel about things. Instead of seeing it from that younger view that we've seen it, maybe it's time to evolve and open up to how much we've built from then until now, especially when it comes to our resilience, our level of endurance. Because a person who works really hard for things can be put under pressure, whereas people who have been given things throughout their lives, they don't know how to operate under pressure or with a lot of stress on their shoulders. Whereas again, Gemini, you've been putting in the work. You have a level of resilience that can't be bought. So let's ask the angels, ancestors, spirit guides, what needs to come out for the present now. That was a lot for this introduction. I have the Sambucus deck here, Gemini. It feels unfair. Yes, you're seeing some kind of unfairness here, but you don't talk about it. This is something that you keep to yourself and you harbor in your own emotions about, not really letting anything lead on that you feel this way. And that's okay. That is totally fine, because what we're going to do is we're going to open up and we're going to see what's going on, why certain things are bothering you when certain things come up. So definitely seeing a truth to the illusion of things, how things have worked out from the past until now. You know, even how we look at things from the past until now with this Page of Swords here. And then this Queen of Coins. I mean, for some reason, Gemini, you could have a good amount of success with the very things that you put around you with this Queen of Coins energy. But it took looking through the past situations, the way things have filled up certain places in your life when it comes to your emotional stability. Things that have happened since a younger age. But for some reason, at those younger times, we weren't trusting our intuition. We couldn't trust our guidance. All we knew is that we had to move forward. But because you have seen some kind of success, there's something here that you're feeling very greedy about. And it could have to do with, again, how you've operated, how you went through the steps, how you went from point A to point B, and you weren't looking to try and skip any kind of steps. That's what I'm seeing. And maybe you're hoping, what I'm hearing is that something would come in and make more offerings to you. Maybe you were hoping that you weren't going to have to work as hard as you have worked. But that's the very thing that makes you the magician. And that's what you're confused on. This is the very thing that has helped you get close to your intuition, and I'm hearing unknowingly. This is why you trust a lot of your gut instincts at times when it comes to things that really matter, because there's times where you don't trust that intuition. But say I got a mama bear, say I got an entrepreneur, say I got a business person, say I got a leader of a community. When it comes down to it, you'll go with your gut. So along all of this journey, you've gained so much. But it all came at hard work. Very, very hard work. Four of Wands. It's hard to see the success within the foundations that we have been able to establish in, but it's also hard to put an end to some things, to walk away from certain things. Could these certain things be the things that actually dull your confidence? Could this be a way of seeing yourself, a way that you feel about yourself that messes with your confidence? Because with this Eight of Cups here, this is Piscean energy, mutable energy, bringing an end to things. But this is also mysticism, mystical love. But this is also transcendence energy, the energy that comes from the seed within, that's from the divine. How can we put an end to feeling like we can't trust in our journey? That's what I feel like, because there's something here that you're not trusting in your journey about. It's not something that you really feel like you can talk to others about, because I really feel like you feel this at the heart of things, but it's hard to talk to anybody about it in your community. So then we have the Queen of Swords versus the Hermit. Hermit energy, all about trusting in oneself, trusting in the journey. This Queen of Swords, when she's in the reverse position, she's merciless. She's over critical. And I feel like this is what you go through. You go through trying to trust in that intuition, trying to trust in the guidance, trying to open up to the flow of life, versus your logical mind. This is a lot of mind stuff here, mental stuff here, because you have Virgo, which is Mercury energy, just like you, the same planet, how we think, how we communicate. Then we have the Queen of Swords. Again, a lot of mental energy as well. So something here about that and feeling stuck where we need to take action. Could be action in healing a perspective that we have when it comes to how we fulfill ourselves in a progressive way, how we reach out to others, maybe to even a higher belief, and bringing that into ourselves. It's very interesting because a lot of decks with the King of Cups shows the King of Cups really focused and looking down at the cup. I want you to see how this King of Cups is reaching up to a higher power, which I would call the divine, reaching up to the heavens for this kind of guidance, for this kind of fulfillment. And I really, really can concur this with this card versus another card I seen when I was cleansing out this deck in particular. The Hermit had came out, and it was the Hermit on top of another, or not the Hermit, excuse me, it was the Hierophant. The Hierophant on top of another card, and I can't remember the particular card, but what I gained from it in that moment is now is time to build a relationship with a higher power, to reach out to a higher power to help you heal, to help you feel the guidance, to help you fill the voids within that you feel like you haven't been able to fulfill right now. And again, I feel like this is a lot of mental leveling up, but also emotionally leveling up. Definitely, we don't realize it, but our emotional being really weighs heavy in on the decisions that we make in life. And sometimes when we go through things, we get stuck at that emotional level, and we will carry that with us. Now, something that I had came to the conclusion of when I was having a meditation when I was cleansing, or when I was having a little meditation when I was walking, I think it was when I was cleansing, is that if you ever seen The Matrix, the last Matrix movie, I believe, the third Matrix, not the Matrix where Neo and Trinity are trying to come back together. This was the last one where he met the program Father, and Father had all the TV screens behind him showing the different versions of Neo that he had met. And what I've heard plenty of times before is that you have multi-dimensions running at the same time. Past dimensions, present dimensions, dimensions of different levels, whether it's 5D, 4D, 2D, 1D, etc. But what I'm getting at is, yes, the past, present, future dimensions are all running, and they run within us all at the same time because of the different phases that we've had in our lives. And each phase, which I kind of break down into every 3 to 5 years, we have learned things, whether emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. and we take that with us into the next phase. And in the next phase, everything we've learned prior, that is how we govern our life and our choices. So up until this point, you have taken all these dimensions of you, and this is how you are making your decisions about how you go about things. But one of the biggest things is also influences. Yeah. It influences. That sounds so weird. It influences how you feel and how you think about yourself in this very present. And right here, the biggest message that I'm seeing from the divine is understanding that not the divine has just been creating everything for you, but you've been co-creating with the divine. And that's what I'm hearing to say, that you've been co-creating with the divine the whole time. Even though there's times you feel like you failed yourself, even though there's times you felt like you should have made other decisions, no, it is a part of the grand masterpiece that you have evolved into. But there are times when we are ready to go back and start healing things that we weren't ready to heal. And this is kind of like one of those times for you, I feel like, Gemini. It's time to step into a personal power. I know for myself, it's been a lot of trying to heal my root chakra. Root chakra is all about stability, groundedness, security, and vitality. But when it's out of whack, it is anxiety, insecurity, fear, and restlessness. And there's times that we have to go within and start to heal old energies that are stuck in there, that have us stuck on replaying the same kind of things that we were doing back in the day just to manage certain situations. Ooh-wee. It's hard. It's hard. Sometimes it's hard to be like, what? I've worked so hard. I've gotten to this point, and you're telling me I have to go back a few steps? You have to go back a few steps, because it's one of those things is we don't always get it right the first try. It's through the trials, it's through the errors, it's through the mistakes, it's through the failures that we learn from, that we have our biggest conquests afterwards. Oh my goodness. Oh, you have an ancestor here. I just see an ancestor here who is just so amazed by you, Gemini. Just know that you are amazing. And like they said, a true champ. Don't forget that. Okay, so we're going to move forward. Let's call in the angels of protection. Please help, guide, and protect us as we navigate the block for the Gemini frequency. What is it that needs to come out for this story and this block? It's a lot. Gemini, I'm going to let you know you've had success in the foundations that you built, but at the same time, you question that success. You don't know how to really engage with it. You still hold yourself back from it. And you could be holding on to something, confused about holding on to certain foundations that could involve others. It could involve others since a younger age and wanting to stop you from going certain directions, stop you from, what I'm hearing is being smarter than them. So I know I've talked about this in a previous story where Gemini does deal with a lot of jealousy from others. You are just a hell of a person, Gemini. Just know that people envy you. They have envied you. Even the people you least expected it have envied you. But there's something here. Again, you feel like you're, I don't know, for some reason, you feel selfish. You feel like you're withholding from others, even though you put yourself out there for everything. You've worked really hard for the success that you've had. But on the other side of it, for some reason, you're feeling very greedy, confused about how you've been able to forge the way, about how you've built the success. Now, there's something here, again, you're resisting to change. There's something that you're holding on to where you're trying to seek security. And that's the overall view on things. But there's something here you need to evolve from. So let's see what else is going on. Let's see. You're such an independent person. You're an independent person who doesn't like to disappoint people. It takes a long time for you to walk away. But before you walk away, you will definitely juggle. You will juggle others until you cannot juggle no more. But for the ones you do really, really love, you will definitely juggle the most for. Like I said, you're definitely wanting somebody to come in and bring some kind of offering. Whoever this is, when it comes to people, places, and or things, they're over controlling, they're over dominating. Maybe they're over dominating because you've had so much success. But here is the rebirth. The rebirth has to happen because you have to give yourself a new type of stability. Yes, you want to look back at what has happened in the past. You want to look at how you want to help these past people. But the whole thing is, it keeps you from looking forward. What do they say when you're trying to outrun a bear or you're trying to win a race when it comes to like running things? You need to stop looking back, because the more you look back, the more you're holding yourself back. You can't give your full energy to moving forward. But the thing is, it's hard to put down these people, these places, when it comes to emotionally trying to embark on something here. And again, there's that juggling. I'm willing to juggle so much, and ignore others. You know, ignore these toxic people who are attaching to me, to my energy, because you know what? I'm trying to search. I'm trying to be that better person. I'm trying to search on how to be that better person when it comes to the relationships around you. What I'm hearing is, don't sacrifice yourself. Don't sacrifice yourself. When it's time to walk away, it is time. Sometimes we have to give people space in order for them to wake up and start to do what they need to do. But the thing is, walking away doesn't have to be something that is seen as being greedy. What I'm hearing and what I'm seeing is a person who is not walking away for those means. They're walking to go to what they're passionate about. You know, they're engaging their focus and their energy in areas of their life that they want to grow. That they're very passionate about. It's very passionately driven. And see, I don't see somebody here who's being selfish. Even though you view yourself as being selfish, I don't see that. I really don't see that. And what lands on the magical power under the divine guidance, something that you are very confused on, you don't want to see, this is a part of you awakening. Awakening to the divine connection that you have. How everything has been flowing, has been meant to flow this way. The ways that you work, the success that you've worked hard for, is because you deserve it. You didn't give up. You didn't get handouts. You put the time, effort into it. You put your blood, sweat, and tears into it. And it is okay to be proud of that, especially when people are trying to dull you down because they want you to hold on to things, to keep yourself in a box, to keep you from going even more forward. Ooh, Gemini, Gemini, Gemini. It's hard. It's hard. I mean, it's hard, especially if you made it out of the thick of things and you wish that you can help others make it out of the thick of things. The whole thing is, Gemini, everybody has their free will. You chose to use your free will in a certain way, while others have chose to use their free wills for handouts. You can't punish you're more than welcome to punish yourself for that. That's being unfair. That honestly, that is the unfair thing right there, to punish yourself for the success that you've worked hard for. And I think this is what agitates your ancestor right there, is because you're so hard on yourself for the gains that you've gained. And I feel like this Gemini hurts at the heart. Hurts at the heart because the more they succeed, it's like the more people want to hate. People that they care about, the more they want to act funky with them. Just know those people are wearing their true colors on them at those times. And as much as we want people to celebrate with us, some people just want misery. They honestly do. It sucks because it doesn't matter who this person is. It doesn't matter who this place is. I mean, it just doesn't. It doesn't, whether it's a spouse, whether it's a family member, whether it's a co-worker. This person's going to be bitter. This place is going to be bitter. Whoever it is going to be bitter because they have a closed heart chakra. And what they're wanting to do is they want to keep your heart chakra closed too. Why? Because they want you to hold a grudge against your success. Because if you hold a grudge against your own personal success, that means you're not going to shine as bright. Oh, don't let them dull your shine, Gemini. All right, let's get out of this block and call in divine and universal energy, along with the angels, ancestors, and spirit guides, to help bring out the positive messages for this story. What is it that we need to relate to the Gemini frequency? Oh my goodness. All right, that's it. That's it. The first thing that I see here, I'm going to show you. All right, let's talk about it. It's up front. These people are not even afraid to hide it. Deceit. It's something that they hold on to. It's something that they could even look you in the eye as they're doing it, whether it's with their words, with the way that they do things. Just know that. Then I have the 7th chakra archangel Uriel. This is crown energy. And the whole thing is, you feel this coming in, but you don't know how to interpret it. Could be interpreting it against yourselves. Trying to say, no, these people, they don't hold envy towards me. They don't hold jealousy towards me. No, that can't be the deceit that I'm seeing. But with this 7th chakra here, the 7th chakra is all about unity of consciousness, inner wisdom, spiritual connection, and enlightenment. What you feel, what you see is your emotional, your spiritual, your physical, your mental being interpreting information. You're feeling the guidance come in because your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, along with divine and universal energy, are on your side. They want to see you succeed. Yes, they're going to give you tests and trials, but they've seen the work that you've put in. This is definitely one who is a protector. Can we protect ourselves? can we feel that unity of consciousness come in when we know these friends, family members, co-workers who are truly acting like foes with that deceit? No, they don't want you to see that they're trying to tie you up and tie you down energetically. No, they don't want you to see that, because they would rather you feel like you are greedy. Why? Because it keeps you unbalanced. That's why it keeps you from seeing that personal magic that keeps holding you back and holding you down. Now, something you're at odds ends with, and this is something that you need to give yourself permission, because again, you've worked hard for the success in your life, is the door to personal healing and happiness. People who want to be miserable will be miserable. You can't make their misery any less. You can't. That is up to them to do the work. You could even have people trying to sponge off of you. You make me feel good when I talk to you. Oh, you have such a good energy. That's them trying to siphon your energy out. It is not, again, your job to make their misery less. That's up to them. It's totally okay to heal, and it's totally okay to be happy. Know that you are not condemned to be miserable. And then we have strategy. Definitely, it takes work to move forward. It takes work to heal. It comes at the expense of learning how to establish new strategies for your day. I'll give you a quick example. Again, I mentioned my root chakra. I've been struggling in my root chakra. I've been having some hip stuff go on. And what I realized is I wasn't grounded. I didn't feel secure, and I didn't have stability. So I had to start changing up how I present myself, how I come in the room. And I practice this even at home. Owning my space. It's okay to own your space. Your space is your space. And if you've had a lifetime where people were always coming in on you since a young age, it's really hard to own your space when you weren't taught. So this could be something that you implement into your routine to start to step into that personal power, to start to step into feeling your groundedness. And again, that's going to start to feed into other areas of your life. So it's coming up with a new strategy on how to deal with these other energies, on how to take care of yourself, how to feel grounded in yourself. Ooh, this was a good story. Woo-wee! Strategy. It's never wrong to have a strategy to get to the door of healing and happiness, to untie yourself from the deceit of others when they want you to feel off balance. They don't want you to see that true energy you bring in, that magical power, because you can do so much, because you've been divinely guided the whole way. Why? Because they rather you hold on to things, be in their type of box of misery, and not seeing your confidence, not seeing that you have choices to walk away, that you are able to awaken to who you are. And the who you are doesn't have to keep juggling these hostile fools that keep you from aligning with the higher power within you. That seed from the divine. Oh, I say give them a run for their money. You know what? Ask them to keep up or get out the way. I'm not gonna lie, either keep up or get out my way. I'm not going to do this with you. I'm not going to play these games with you. You don't even have to put it out there verbally. It could just be the way that you come in, the way that you handle things, even the way that you start to present your energy. Start practicing some new things, some new strategies for yourself to step into your personal power, especially when it comes to owning your space. All right, Gemini, I hope this helps. Don't forget to thank your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, as well as divine and universal energy for coming on in and helping out. And as always, I hope that you have a most wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.